So my name is Mohammed Nasruddin. I'm an AWS Solutions Architect. I'm based out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I've been with AWS for around 8 years, and I started off in the infrastructure organization, supporting mainly the Canada Central region. And then in the past 3 years, I've been as AWS Solutions Architect, mainly in the telecom organization as part of the AWS industries. And yeah, I'm also a member in the Analytics TFC, which is a technical field community for analytics in AWS. I specialize in QuickSight, streaming services as well. Yeah, processing as well. So that's about it. Again, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate your time on this. We'll go over the agenda. So in the agenda, we're gonna cover first Amazon QuickSight, just kind of introductory level, and then the feature of using Amazon Q in QuickSight. We'll go behind the architecture, see how it's made out of, what services do they interact with each other to offer Amazon Q, the usage on Amazon Q in QuickSight, and then we'll discuss, the capabilities of GenBI. So the whole reasoning when using Amazon Q in QuickSight is, I mean, the standouts of GenBI, right? So this comes also with a brief discussion on its features and benefits, and then just a really touch on the surface as far as pricing, and then we'll jump to the demo where I get to show you, the capabilities, features, and that you can use for your businesses. So Amazon QuickSight, I mean, like we said, we have probably users who have been using QuickSight, and we have new users. So it's a fully managed, a cloud-native business intelligence service, and it's part of the AWS. It's mainly designed to create and share interactive dashboards, and its key features that it's easy data connectivity, so you can connect QuickSight to various platforms, resources, regardless AWS or non-AWS, and it has the machine learning powered insight, which is QuickSight with Q, and it's scalable to thousands of users, and you only get to pay per session pricing modeling. We'll discuss pricing more in details after. And it has also a key feature of embedded analytics capabilities. So when it comes to data handling, the standout is using the in-memory computation engine, which is Spice. Spice is kind of like a columnar storage or an in-memory engine, which is designed for like fast data retrieval and calculations in Amazon QuickSight. So in memory processing, where data is loaded into RAM for faster access and communication, columnar storage, data stored by the column rather by the row, and it's compressed, so it uses advanced compression techniques to maximize the memory usage. And also it offers parallel processing, which is leverage multiple CPU cores for faster query execution. But I mean, that's from high level on Spice that's being used in QuickSight. We mainly also use Amazon QuickSight for visualization, whether it's a wide range of chart types, interactive elements like filters, drill downs. It also offers integration like with other AWS services or non-AWS services, and it's pretty secure. So it has low level security, and it integrates with the AWS identity and access management, so you can manage the permission roles and policies for every user. Yeah, so that being said, and this is just a brief introduction on Amazon QuickSight. Now we jump to the Amazon Q part, and this is where this gets to interact with QuickSight to offer you that GenBI capability. So Amazon Q, it's an AI powered like Gen Intelligence. That's keeping in mind that you are using it in with QuickSight. So it's an AI powered natural language query that is featured in Amazon QuickSight, and it enables your users whether to ask questions about their data in simple plain English language. We're going to see that in the demo. Yeah, it's part of Amazon's like broader Q GenAI, assistant, and mainly, I mean, as a standout features, you can use it for natural language processing, so NLP for data queries, or automatic visualization generation, following up question capabilities. It offers also, I mean, various benefits in user experience, whether it's conversational interface or like you really don't need that complex SQL or BI tool expertise. You can just get instance answer based on visualizations. Yeah, I mean, in terms of data interaction, you can query across multiple data sets, and it totally respects the data permissions and access control. When it comes to visualization, it automatically selects your appropriate chart types, and you can change that manually too. It's customizable. It offers customizable visualizations and interactive elements for deeper exploration. There are many use cases to that, but again, I know security is a top priority, and I want to make sure that it adheres to the QuickSight, existing security protocols as part of AWS, where there's data governance and auditing capabilities. All right, so behind the scenes, how does Amazon Q with QuickSight work? So there are mainly core services involved here. We spoke about QuickSight, hosting the main BI dashboard and providing the data connection and management layer. There's also Amazon Bedrock. Amazon Bedrock powers the large language models behind Amazon Q, and it enables the natural language understanding and generation. When it comes to serverless, we use also AWS Lambda, which is like handling the serverless compute for query processing behind the scenes, and managing stateless operation in the queue workflow. For your storage, like layer, as far as concerned, we use Amazon S3, where you can store your data sets there and then import them into QuickSight. Or I mean, you can use whether database service like Amazon DynamoDB, where you manage your metadata and user session information. But again, jumping back to GenBI components, so we have the natural language understanding, which utilizes Bedrocks and large language models so as to interpret user queries and extracts entities and context from those questions. So what happened is when in the query generation, it transforms the natural language into more structured queries and thus leverage the QuickSight data model understanding. As far as insight generation, it analyzes the query results so as to produce meaningful insights and uses GenAI to create natural language explanations. As far as data, like integration flow, so it's divided into user input, query processing, data retrieval, insight and visualization generation, and then response delivery. With that being said, so this is kind of like how this architecture leverage the AWS services so as to create that seamless, intelligent, and scalable generative BI experience within QuickSight, combining the power of large language models with the robust data analytics capabilities. So when it comes to Amazon Q in QuickSight capabilities, number one, we have AI-powered dashboard authoring. I just want to spend some time to shed some light on this. So when it comes to that, mainly it's consisting of the natural language dashboard creation. So users can describe the dashboard as they want in plain language, and Q will generate a complete dashboard layout. It also features the intelligent chart selection. So Q automatically chooses the most appropriate visualization type based on the data and the user's input. And then as far as for automated insights, as you build dashboards, then Q would suggest relevant insights and additional visualization so as to enrich your analysis. This is mainly based on AI algorithms that will arrange dashboard elements for optimal readability and your overall user experience. And it offers also dynamic filtering, so you can suggest and implement intelligent filters based on the data context and your queries. And when it comes to anomaly detection, it automatically highlights the unusual patterns or outliers in the data during dashboard creation, suggesting insights, for example, or like fixations. Now, when it comes to AI-assisted data storytelling, it's more like a narrative generation. So Q creates a natural language summary of the key trends and insights from the visualization that you build using Q in QuickSight. And it offers kind of like a context-aware explanations where it provides explanations for your data points, trends, relationships, in really easy to understand plain language. And another thing would be the automated report writing. So it generates draft reports or presentation based on dashboard content, and it adapts the narrative as the users interact with the dashboard, providing a real-time context. It also intelligently ranks and presents the most important findings from the data. When it comes to on-demand AI answers to questions of data, we spoke about using the natural language queries, so you can ask questions about your data without in plain English, without really needing to know how to write in SQL structure or data structure in SQL. And so Q really understands the context of the previous questions that you ask, and then can handle also follow-ups and follow-up queries intelligently after that. You can pull insights from multiple data sets, answer whether it's like cross-functional questions, and it offers forecasts and prediction based on historical data, trends, and it even suggests relevant data sets and fields that you users might not have considered. So it's kind of like an advice, mainly providing like clear definitions, explanations of the business's metrics and the KPIs that are on demand. Last but not least is to extend custom applications with AI. So the embedded analytics benefit or standout here allows really the integration of Amazon Q AI capabilities into custom applications and portals, so you can reflect on your, let's say, local websites. And it provides a programmatic access to Q's natural language processing and insight generation. As far as skill development, it enables creation of domain-specific skill to enhance your Q's understanding of particular business context, and it can be integrated into existing business processes as well as decision making. It allows the customization of AI responses based on your user roles, permissions, and preferences. We're gonna see that in terms of user types. So these capabilities really, demonstrate how Amazon Q and QuickSight will leverage AI to transform the entire BI workflow from dashboard and creation to data exploration and application integration. So kind of offering an advanced analytics, more accessible and more actionable for all users within the organization. All right. So as far as capabilities, this is based on user types like Author Pro, Reader Pro, Reader, and Author Pro. And when it comes to that, it's more really by tailoring the capabilities to different user types. Now, Amazon Q and QuickSight ensures, in general, everyone in the organization can leverage AI-powered analytics regardless really of their technical expertise of their role specific like needs, for example. So when it comes to AI, when it comes to Author Pro are kind of advanced users who create and manage dashboard analysis. Reader Pros are more like users which have advanced viewing and interaction capabilities, but they are not able to create or edit dashboards. Readers and authors have, also, mixed capabilities in terms of viewing and, in creating. But this is something that, we can organize a whole session for deep dive and where you get to know more about the capabilities with the user type. Yeah. And yeah, just for the sake of time, so we will brush a bit on role subscriptions. And as far as that, it really depends on the user type, as Reader, Reader Pro, Author, or Author Pro. But just really to summarize this, would be like, by offering these tiered, let's say, or based on user type subscription options. You can use QuickSight so as to allow in your organization so as to tailor the BI tool access to the specific needs, and then depending also on the skill level of the different user groups, so as to to balance capabilities with cost effectiveness. So generally for reader it's about $3 per month, or you can have it as offered in capacity based, but for Reader Pro it adds more on the GenBI capabilities for reader to build the stories, and it's about $20 per month. As far as author, it extends to connect data, create dashboards and reports, and it is offered for $24 a month. Meanwhile, Author Pro is like full access to all capabilities using QuickSight and Amazon Q with QuickSight, and this is by about $50 per month. All right, that being said, I will now go over my demo. So normally we get to this page. So from there, I'm going to click on QuickSight. So here, this is my analysis in the QuickSight. What I want to share with you is a data set pertaining to like 5G resource allocation. So in this data set, let's just go upload the data set here. So we go to datasets, and yeah, I did upload one earlier, but we can do another one here. So new data set, and I upload the file. It can be a CSV, JSON, or any of those supported types. So I'm just gonna import that. All right, so just uploading file here. Yeah, next. Visualize, yeah. I'm going to go over the dataset to show you what it consists of, but again, it's more of a 5G allocation a dataset where it provides like a comprehensive look into the world of 5G resource allocation, and where you're using AI algorithms so as to dynamically manage network resources, which is like bandwidth, frequency, spectrum, and computing power in real time. And it includes applications types so as to gain insights into how different applications from high definition, let's say video calls, to IoT sensor data, signal strength, so you understand how signal strength impacts the resource allocation decisions and quality of service, as well as latency, where you discover the delicate balance between low latency requirement and resource availability, and bandwidth requirements. Dive into the diverse band needs of applications, resource allocation, exploring the core of the dynamic resource allocation, which kind of reflects more like percentages on the network performance. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. So the first thing that you saw me doing here is I uploaded my data set. And now I'm going to basically create a topic on the data set. And I mean, the reason why we create that topic is to be able to use Amazon Q in QuickSight. So by doing that, just gonna go to topic, and I will just name the topic. That's why we data set. That's just an example there. Yeah, so I have this marked. So then I would be selecting the data set of my choice, and that would be this one. So it's gonna take time to analyze the data, and based on that, generate the topic. Yeah, it depending on how big your data set is, um, it will take some time to do that, but yeah, it's usually super fast. It's not that big of data set, so yeah. I see it's taking a bit of time here, but that's fine. All right. So, all right. So this is the topic that is created, and it's again, as I give an introduction, a bit on the what consists in that data set. So this is the fields, whether they are measurable or dimensional fields, and yeah. So how this is how my data set looks like, and it has all sorts of just data and those. So we'll go back to the topics. Now in the topic section. You can use the Amazon Q feature. Let's just, sorry, let's go back. RG dataset. You can use the Amazon Q and QuickSight feature to ask questions. So I click on the top where I ask a question about for example, the 5G resource allocation dataset. And let's say, I want to understand more about my signal strength and the latency for each application type. Um, so I would be asking this, and this is pre-generated. So we'll just put that question in plain English, really, and ask Q to generate the visuals and the data behind my question. So you can also see that my question has been interpreted as behind the scenes as the number of latency by application type and signal strength. And now it's just gonna get the data based on that question. And we see here, so we have 400 records. And so this is just a comparison between application type, signal strength, and latency. And this would be our main visual here. So you can see based on video calls, web browsing, streaming, video streaming, how latency looks like from a signal strength perspective. And this is really the narrative. So the total number of latency instances is 400. There are 11 unique application types and 84 unique signal states. So this is the narrative behind the data generation, which we used Amazon Q to ask Amazon Q to generate for as a data visualization. Now, this is only mainly to use as you are asking Q. But let's say you want to build an analysis out of that and then build a data story about that. So then you would be going back to your analysis part here. So this is the new analysis that we have, and in that, okay, I don't need this. Oh no, the sheet I can keep it, but I don't need this empty visual, so I'm just gonna delete it. And here, just before you start in the analysis, just before you start building visuals, you topic linked the analysis to the topic that we just created earlier, which is the 5G dataset. We applied the changes. You see, it was successfully linked. So we're good on that. Then we just close it, and now we can use the Amazon Q and QuickSight feature to build visuals. I'm going to put what I asked before. So basically, what's the correlation between signal strength and latency for each application type that the users are using? And I'm going to add that to my analysis. All right, so now I want to know more about, there you go, we can just close that. We can build another visual. And I want to know more about how does signal strength correlate with latency for various users. So this is according to user type, let's say. I mean, clients in the network, let's say. All right, I mean, so I have this. I mean, it's depending on really what you want to see, but it lists based on the user and on the how the latency by signal looks like. So I mean, let's just add this to our analysis. Yeah, another thing maybe I would want to know more about, let's say, how does it look like from an average resource allocation efficiency perspective, and this is compared, let's say, by application type. So I would just close that and build another one. So I mean, I think you kind of get the gist here. Really, you can. So you import your data set, you create a topic for it, you link it to analysis, and then you can just really ask questions to build those visuals. And so you see this, it also offers you its own interpretation. And just in case, probably, if you had something else that you meant, you can use this option as well. So did you mean average of resource allocation and the number of required bandwidth by application type? Yeah, I mean, I will click on that. Okay, so it also offers here, I mean, it didn't much change, it's still in tabular format, but I mean, I can change the format later, and change the visual type. For example, let's say I would use horizontal stack, let's say, see if that's possible as far as offering, and that's, yeah. So, I mean, now we got a different visualization, um, based on resource allocation or required bandwidth. So I'll add this to my analysis as well. Mm. Now, last but not least, I want to also cover the other features. Um, so one last visual that I want to build is, let's see here. So for example, if we try to know how does like latency um, will differ uh, by the allocated bandwidth, let's say, for example, for our data. So let's just put that and I click build. All right, so then we got, I mean, the number of latency by allocated bandwidth, and depending on the count here. So we can just add that to our analysis here. Yeah. Another feature is that, let's say, I mean, so you want to change or alter on the visual itself. It's still just coming up. So, um, so here, I mean, we can see based on as far as latency per out. Let's say, I mean, I honestly just like let's say I want to add color to that chart, or just editing. So you can really edit based on what you want to see, or what you want to add the visual, what you want to modify on the visual. So this color because it's all the same. So it kind of changed now the visual and based on the signal strength, as far as colored and for the decibels, let's say. Uh, so this is another feature that when you ask Q to build you that visual, and then you can ask Q to edit that visual. Um, Let's see here. Yeah, so this is as far as our analysis when it comes to building visual using Q. So I'm going to publish that. Whenever you are done building your visuals, you should always try to publish this. And I'm just gonna say 5G stats, let's say. Yeah, so you just make sure that the data stories and the generative, capabilities are ticked before you do that. So, which will enable us to use now the building executive summaries. So I'm still on the analysis part, mainly on the original dashboard, which I named it 5G stats right there. So now I'm gonna build an executive summary. The executive summary here will be built is based on the dashboards that I ask Q to create for me. So the executive summary of all four visualizations here lies in here, giving you basically a summary, which is the total latency is 400, and the top strength was of signal was the minus 97 decibels. So the highest allocated bandwidth are 622 kilobytes. So VoIP calls, streaming, and online gaming have the highest average resource allocation, while video call, web browsing, background download have the highest bandwidth. Video call, web browsing, and background download have the most latency incidents, while voice call, file download, and IoT, temperature reading have the least. So, it really depends on what you ask you to incorporate for visuals, and then use that to create an executive summary from. But you get basically the summary on what you built earlier. That being said, the last feature that I want to use here is the data storytelling. So I'm going to build a data story, and in the data story, so like I want to write, let's say, a data story report about the aspects of the aspects of the 5G resource calculation that we saw earlier, so as to improve the quality of service and innovate and on that. And this is gonna be based on the visuals that that we use. So you describe the data story that you need, and then you click on add visuals. You have to really add visuals to back up the data story. Otherwise, it won't really know where it wants to generate the data from. So we select them all. It's just a demo, but it really depends on what you are looking for your data story report. And yeah, so we click build. And it's just gonna take some time to really generate the report from intro to conclusion, with the incorporations of the visual and an abstract of what they represent, data-wise, and yeah. So just it takes time to go through that. So here, so we saw the report, how it looks like, and here it offers, like I said, an abstract explanation. We can edit that to, for example, instead of a paragraph, we can edit it with Q. I'm sorry, just yeah. So here, I just want to. So we can edit with you and like change it, make it longer, shorter, or change it, let's say, to bullets, and then it will just edit the narrative. Yeah, so I'll keep that narrative. So for example, now it's been changed from like paragraph-like to bullet narrative-like. And yeah, you can do the same thing for all the visuals, even alter the visuals, format them, change them if you don't like it from on the report specifically, or go back to your analysis and do that, and then it automatically will be incorporated. And this is again what we saw earlier from our executive summaries, but more with a abstract explanation of each visual by the title that it previews for. And yeah, it also adds up as forecasting, insights, call to action, conclusion. And this is mainly how you are able to use the Gen BI capabilities by using Amazon Q with QuickSight.